So to kind of tie us back in, you said adult spelling bee. If an artificial intelligence was going to do a spelling bee, how do we determine if it's an adult or not?
Are you asking me how we would tell if we have a mature AI
Yeah.
as opposed to an immature AI?
Because we have like children that grow up and
Sure.
at this point you're an adult. Well, if we're creating a new species, as in artificial intelligence, how do we know, like, what's that learning curve?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. Well, first of all, I think there are just way too many ways to tackle this question, but I want to just start off by saying that adulthood is very arbitrary. Like, it's just 18, boom,
That's
cut and
fair.
dry. You're still not mature enough to like figure out how alcohol works, but we'll send you to war. Welcome to America. Obviously, other people do it differently. Some countries don't have any drinking age, but yeah, it's kind of interesting how arbitrary that is.
So basically what you're saying is that in order to define adulthood for artificial intelligence, we just need to make up some bullshit rules and draw a line somewhere.
Well, so here's what's interesting about artificial intelligence. Initially, I was thinking about
That was a panel that fell over.
yeah,
We
it
just
sure was.
We just heard a crash. That's what paused Nick's
in the
thoughts.
house. I'd have to go see who's breaking in.
Originally, you were thinking about artificial intelligence.
So originally I was thinking about artificial intelligence and how whenever you design something, it's going to be programmed. So there isn't going to be like a child versus adulthood. But what we're starting to realize with artificial intelligence is that it's not about creating something that is that's working and functional just as it's designed. We're looking at how we can create an AI that can learn and grow and use machine learning to continually improve itself and kind of be like that concept of a flywheel where it's taking its past experiences, building off of them, and becoming smarter and smarter and smarter, presumably to infinity. I mean, this is a perpetual cycle. So, yeah, it does actually kind of follow that track of growing, just like children build on their experiences. How would you be able to tell? Going back to the original question, maybe it's based on the Turing test. Are you familiar with that term?
No.
So,
Two-ring test, like two circles? Is that what you're saying?
no, Turing. I'm not sure how you spell it.
Okay.
I think perhaps Touring.
Okay.
But there's it's somebody's last name. And I can't recall his first name, but essentially a few decades ago, somebody came up with this concept called the Turing test. And it is a way to try to figure out if you've developed a computer that is on the same level of intelligence as a human. So if you can pass the Turing test, as one might say, then you've built a computer that is as smart as a human. And all the Turing test is a simple chat with a computer, and you just have a conversation back and forth, and you ask the human that's engaged with what they don't know on the other side is either a computer or a human. And if they don't know that it's a computer, then it passed the Turing test. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well enough?
Yeah, I follow along. It's an interesting concept. I've not heard that before.
Yeah. And so it seems to work pretty well, but like, I believe IBM's Watson passed the Turing test. Like, if you start a conversation with it, it takes everything into context exactly as a human would. Weird. So that could be an answer to the Turing test. And so like perhaps you scale it for children and then you scale one for adults because, you know, if you talk to an 8-year-old, it's definitely going to be a different type of conversation than it would be for a 25-year-old.